Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Seeing some slightly more sunshine than what we saw at the earlier briefing this morning, with just a few clouds out around the area and still feeling fall-like out there. And we have seen that breeze pick up slightly. So seeing some slightly breezy conditions. Peak winds up around 18 knots at this time, and seeing those temperatures climbing into the 50s ahead today. We'll see a continuation of those fall-like slightly breezy conditions as we move through today. We'll see a slight chance for some precip around the area as we move into tomorrow morning. Not looking like a significantly impactful precip event if it does occur, but nonetheless we'll see that chance, and then see fall conditions continue into tomorrow before we return to more seasonable conditions as high pressure builds in for the weekend. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have that area of high pressure centered well off to the west. That's what we'll be building in, bringing seasonable conditions as we move into the weekend. Otherwise, looking at an area of low pressure off the coast, off the Carolina coast here, along this boundary that's being supported by the upper level trough that is over the region, and that area of low pressure is going to track northeastward and potentially spin in some moisture into the local area as we move into tomorrow morning. That's going to bring us that slight chance of a few light rain showers around the area. Before that tracks east-northeastward along with the upper level trough, and that trough is bringing in those cooler temperatures as well. So that's kind of the picture we can expect for the next couple of days. Back to today, if we take a look at our upper level winds from this morning's sounding, had some northwesterly winds closer to the surface around 23 knots. Those winds becoming more westerly to west southwesterly as we get up in the upper levels, seeing our peak wind today of 120 knots at 25,000 feet, and the freezing level today was at 5,100 feet. Take a look at our current visible satellite. We can see those mainly clear skies, looking at a few high clouds off to our southeast, and still a few of those 15,000 foot clouds streaming through the area, and then looking at some bay streamers continuing with that breeze along our local bays. Otherwise, just mainly sunny conditions out there at this time. We do expect some increasing clouds as we move through the day today. If we take a look at the short-term high-res model for today, again expecting dry conditions through working hours today, and we'll see a gradual increase in the clouds as we move into the evening time frame. As that area of low pressure tracks northeastward, see some of that reflectivity coming in a bit closer to the coastline here, and moving past the midnight time frame, we start to see some of that reflectivity inching closer to the coast, and we'll see a chance of maybe some of these rain showers swinging into the local area as we pass 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. But again, not looking like a very likely chance, but the chance nonetheless being there, and not looking too impactful, more so just some light showers possibly skimming the coastline over the local area. But some models are a bit drier, other models indicating a bit better chance. So again, that chance will be there, but we should see that wrap up as we move towards the later part of the morning as we get into our Thursday, and we'll see gradual decrease in cloud cover as well. Another slightly breezier day than what we'll see today, with a chance of maybe a wind advisory, but overall should see a dry second part of the day with decreasing clouds as that trough continues tracking eastward, and we see that area of low pressure tracking out of the area. We'll see high pressure starting to build in, and we'll start to rebound to more seasonable temperatures as we get into our Friday. If we zoom out, look at the European model here, we see that high pressure building into the local area on Friday. Still a little bit of a pressure gradient on Friday, so we'll see some slightly breezy conditions continue, but will be warmer, closer to average for this time of year, and that trend continues as we move into the weekend. High pressure pretty much dominating the forecast, keeping conditions seasonable and dry and pretty quiet and uneventful as we move through the extended forecast here. As you can see, that high pressure remains in control as we move into the beginning of next week, with maybe a couple degrees above average for our highs as we get into next week, and looking at dry weather for the extended forecast here. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, looking green conditions as we move through working hours today, we'll see our high temperature climbing up to around 60 degrees this afternoon. Winds continuing out of the northwest, 8 to 13, 9 to 14 knots sustained, seeing those peak winds up around 18 to 20 knots for the afternoon time frame. We will see, do expect some increase in the cloud cover, possibly seeing a ceiling develop for late afternoon around 4,500 feet, and then gradual increase in those mid and high clouds as well as that low pressure tracks closer to the area as we move through the overnight. Seeing those low temperatures drop down to around 45 degrees for our low tomorrow morning, and picking up that yellow risk for precip in the area for that 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. time frame, with that slight chance of a light shower swinging into the coastal areas for that time frame. And we'll see a slight breeze pickup as we move into the early morning hours as well, with those winds out of the north, 8 to 13 knots, gusting up to 18 knots. And those tides running slightly below normal today. And the extended forecast here, again, looking at that 20% chance of some precip tomorrow morning. We'll see another slightly breezy day for Thursday, slightly breezier than what we'll see today. So I do have a slight chance of seeing a wind advisory as we move through our Thursday. A high of 59 degrees, so another cooler day. Then we get back to more seasonable temperatures as we move into Friday, with the highs getting into the mid to upper 60s with mostly sunny conditions, slightly breezy on Friday. And then moving into the end of the weekend, we'll see our highs climbing into the low 70s, with our lows staying right around 50 plus or minus a degree or two moving into early next week. But pretty much a quiet and dry weather pattern with a mix of partly cloudy to mostly sunny conditions, and really no significant weather events expected at this time. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.